You're watching South Asia Newsline, and here are the top stories we are tracking for you on Monday, the 27th of October. India's growth outlook strong, trade diversifying amid US tariff tensions, says government report. Afghan-Pakistan peace talks enter third day as Trump again offers help. And Hindus in India and Nepal celebrate Chhath Puja festival. And now for all the details. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi participated virtually as India and the ASEAN nations strengthened their bond at the 22nd ASEAN-India Summit on Sunday in Kuala Lumpur. The Prime Minister in his address stated that terrorism poses a serious challenge to global peace and security. PM Modi and leaders of the grouping jointly reviewed progress in ASEAN-India relations and discussed initiatives to strengthen the comprehensive strategic partnership. PM Modi also emphasized the early review of the ASEAN-India FTA to strengthen regional cooperation. He also announced extended support for the implementation of the ASEAN-India Plan of Action to implement the ASEAN-India Comprehensive Strategic Partnership 2026 to 2030. In a post on X, Foreign Minister S. Jaishankar on Sunday shared pictures of his talks with Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim on the sidelines of the summit and conveyed Prime Minister Modi's best wishes for the successful event. The three-day summit, which began on Sunday, has brought together leaders from the 11-member bloc and dialogue partners, including the United States, China, Japan and Korea.
भारत और आसियान मिलकर विश्व की लगभग 1/4 जनसंख्या को रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं। हम सिर्फ ज्योग्राफी ही शेयर नहीं करते, हम गहरे ऐतिहासिक संबंधों और साझे मूल्यों की डोर से भी जुड़े हुए हैं। हम ग्लोबल साउथ के सहयात्री हैं। हम केवल व्यापारिक नहीं, सांस्कृतिक साझेदार भी हैं। आसियान भारत की एक्ट ईस्ट पॉलिसी का मुख्य स्तंभ है। भारत सदैव आसियान सेंट्रलिटी और इंडो पैसिफिक पर आसियान के आउटलुक का पूर्ण समर्थन करता रहा है।
India's economic growth outlook for the current fiscal year remains strong, supported by robust domestic demand, easing inflation and recent consumption tax cuts, the government said in its September economic report. Prices are expected to stay soft in the financial year ending 31st of March, helped by a positive outlook for food production despite reduced acreage under oilseeds and cash crops and some weather-related crop losses, according to the report released on Monday. India's trade performance for September 2025 showed early signs of diversification in export destinations, even as trade deals negotiations with the United States continue. The South Asian nation currently faces 50% punitive tariffs on its exports to the United States, with half of those duties imposed in retaliation for its purchases of Russian oil. According to latest trade data, about 55% of Indian exports to the US were affected by the tariff hikes. India will not accept limits on its trading choices or rush into agreements, Trade Minister Piyush Goyal said on Friday, while a senior government official noted that a bilateral trade deal with Washington was near. And a deadlock continued at the latest Pakistan and Afghanistan talks in Istanbul entered third day on Monday amid a mediation offer by US President Donald Trump. Reports suggested there was no breakthrough so far as the Afghan Taliban delegation remained hesitant to commit verifiable measures against the Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan and other militant groups, claimed by Pakistan to be operating from Afghan soil. This comes as the Pakistan Army on Sunday reported border clashes while the talks continued and claimed that 5 Pakistani soldiers and 25 militants had died in clashes near the border with Afghanistan. Earlier, Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif said that he believes Afghanistan wants peace, but failure to reach an agreement during talks would mean open war, days after both sides agreed to a ceasefire following deadly border clashes. The Taliban has denied accusations of sheltering militants and reiterated that Pakistan's military operations violate Afghan sovereignty. Members of the Baloch National Movement held massive demonstrations in South Korea recently to denounce the ongoing military siege in Zehri, Balochistan, and the aggressive actions of Pakistan in the region. We have a report.
Activists of the Baloch National Movement held massive demonstrations in South Korea's Busan recently to denounce the ongoing military siege in Zehri, Balochistan, and the aggressive actions of Pakistan in the region. Protesters carried banners with images of destroyed homes, mourning families, and messages of ending siege in Zehri to protest Pakistan military's attacks, enforced disappearances, and alleged drone strikes in Balochistan, saying that it is wreaking havoc on the Baloch people. They called out Pakistan Army's war crimes against the Baloch nation and urged the international community to hold Pakistan accountable. According to the demonstrators, recent airstrikes conducted by the Pakistani military resulted in the deaths of over 20 civilians, including 10 children, while more than 50 young men have been forcibly disappeared. They pointed out towards critical shortages of food, water, and medical supplies, the conversion of hospitals into military facilities, and a complete curfew that restricts the movement of civilians. Meanwhile, a protest was also held in Kek district of Balochistan to demand the return of 3 men allegedly disappeared by Pakistan Army after detention. Numerous families, including women and children, took part in the demonstration, calling for the urgent release of the missing individuals. Baloch people have long been targets of so-called military operations, ethnic stereotyping and abductions by the Pakistani state, while it continues to exploit their natural resources.
Moving on, the FIFA Unites Women's Series tournament kicked off in Morocco on Sunday, marking a historic moment for the Afghan refugee women's football team. Representing their country in exile, the players said their participation is a powerful message of defiance against the Taliban's ban on women in sport. They said the decision to defy the Taliban prohibition sends a message to the world that they will not be denied. Captain Fatima Heidari of Afghan Women United said it was a dream come true to finally take the field, years after fleeing Afghanistan to pursue the right to play and represent their nation. The team will face sides from the UAE, Chad and Libya during the tournament.
That's all we wanted all these years, after trying so hard to get what we truly deserve as a woman, our right to play and to represent our country. I think it's a clear message to the world that if women want to do anything in their life, not just an athlete path, to be equal in the society as men, especially in sports field. And countries like Afghanistan that didn't have the opportunity these many years, it made this dream come true.
Hindu devotees across India and Nepal are celebrating the festival of folk faith, Chhath Puja, with prayers and ritual offerings to the sun god. Take a look.
Hindu devotees across India and Nepal are marking the 4-day-long Chhath Puja festival with prayers, rituals, and offerings to the sun god and his sister Chhathi Maya. On the first day of the festival, known as Nahai Khai, devotees take dip in water bodies, offer prayers, and then eat pure food items with a resolution for rigorous fasting for the next 2 days. The second day of Chhath Puja is known as Karna, during which devotees offer and consume kheer or rice porridge with jaggery, before proceeding to fast without water for the next 36 hours. Devotees, especially women, observe a fast from sunrise to sunset, abstaining from both food and water. The fast is broken only after making offerings to the sun god at sunset. The 4-day festival ends with offering arghya to the sun god. Chhath Puja, which falls on the 6th day of Hindu month of Kartik, emphasizes purity, gratitude, and the well-being of one's family.
देखिए तैयारियां तो अभी से नहीं दीपावली से ही यहाँ पे जो है लोग अपने लिए जगह जो है ठिकाना शुरू कर दिए हैं ताकि अपना सुविधा के हिसाब से अर्घ दे सकें शाम को डूबते हुए सूर्यदेव का, और कल सुबह जो है वो उगते हुए सूर्यदेव का अर्घ देके समापन होगा।
ये जो है छठ जो पर्व है ये संतान और धन की वृद्धि के लिए बनाया गया है। ये मान्यता ऐसी है और हम लोग जो है ये हमारी माता जी हम लोग के जन्म के पहले से ये जो है ये व्रत को करती हैं और बड़ा ही कठिन ये तपस्या है।
Meanwhile, in Nepal, markets are abuzz as people are thronging to buy bamboo soups and earthen stoves used in the rituals. The festival is being celebrated with great fervor in Nepal as the river banks have been elaborately decorated for the devotees to take a holy dip and offer prayers to the sun god.
यसमा लाग्ने सामग्री उखु चाहियो, सेब चाहियो, सुन्तला चाहियो, अब मेन कुरा 60 को चामल चाहियो, अब यस्तै गरी फलफुल नारंगी, बतासा, उखु यो सबै सामग्री हाम्रो यो महान यो छठी मैयाको पर्वमा यो सामान लागेर नै उचित हुन्छ भनेर यो हाम्रो छठी मैयाले माग गर्नु भएको छ। त्यो एकदमै यो महान पर्वमा हामीहरू एकदम रमाइलो गरेर यो पर्व हामी मनाइदै आइरहेका छौं हामीहरू हिन्दूहरूको।
That's all in tonight's edition. We will see you same time tomorrow. Good night.